Hi, Remy. How are you?
Hi, Megan. I'm good. Welcome to my little Christmas abode.
I'm obsessed with it.
Just for you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It kind of fits the theme, with the movie obviously being a holiday movie and one of the first from Netflix. I see what you're going with there.
Mm.
So tell me how you got to be a part of this film.
Well, I auditioned. It was, it was was it around this time last year? I came across this lovely script, this hilarious script that was the third in a series of films that I'd already seen before and was a really big fan of because I don't know if you've heard of this awesome actress named Vanessa Hudgens. She was in it and I jumped at it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. And The character of Peter was one of those rare ones that as an actor you just kind of feel an affinity for, and you don't really need to work so hard to act so hard to bring yourself to it. It just kind of felt like it fit. And I had a lovely Zoom with Vanessa and Mike, our director, and we got to know each other from our various continents. I think we were all over the place at this point. Um, and yeah, it all worked out.
It really did. I'm so happy that you actually got to be in the movie because I don't think anyone else could have played Peter the way you did. He was, compared to the other two gentlemen from the first and second movie, yours just brought a completely different layer to it and to the whole movie. And so for you to be kind of bringing in this heist-esque storyline to a
Mm.
holiday movie, how exciting was that?
Yeah, look, I mean that honestly is something that really brought me to the script is just how fun it was to mix these two genres that it's like fusion food, it's like bringing the best of both worlds into one. Love Christmas movies, love that holiday cheer, but also, who wasn't a fan of the Ocean's movies or Entrapment? That was something that I was just like dying to be a part of. And yeah, I think the character of Peter is a really exciting one. He's a very suave guy. He's a bit of an international man of mystery, and knowing that all of pretty much his relationship anchor was going to be Fiona, which is,
Mhm.
I think, one of the most fun characters in the series. And I think there's a reason why audiences have responded to her so much is because she's just so much fun. Yeah, that was a bit of a dream come true.
I have to ask you, what was it like filming the motion sensor scene? You guys obviously did the rehearsal one and then the real one. So how much of that was you and how much was a stunt double? Because that scene was insane.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot. We spent a long time in rehearsals for it, which was amazing. We had an incredible movement coach and choreographer, Carolyn Pope, who is based out of London. She came and spent weeks with us. So it was like, Vanessa, myself, and Carolyn's team in an empty dance studio with and we had like twine, we had wires like all set up throughout the space to represent the lasers, and we had to figure it out. We had to figure out not only like how are we going to solve this problem as if we were actually doing it.
Mhm.
We had to figure out not only as the characters but as ourselves, how are we going to do this and sell this to the audience, but also how do we tell a story. It can't just be like, oh, look at us, pretty little movements and gymnastics and all that kind of stuff. You really need to sell the romance. You really need to sell the history between the two characters in this moment, because when this scene happens, it's also like at a very climactic point for the two characters. I don't want to give too much away,
Mhm.
but there's a lot happening. You know,
There's a couple
uh,
looks.
yeah, that's, yes. Let's say that there's a couple of looks in there, and that was really fun.
Did you become very aware of your body as you were doing it?
Oh yeah, yeah, very aware, because if you triple laser, start again. Yeah, and you know, you're definitely moving in very different ways. And I mean, uh it was like Vanessa's a dance. Vanessa can move, you know,
Mhm.
and so I really had to step up my game. I was doing my stretches every single day, trying to get just as limber to play this part of, you know, a cat burglar.
Mhm.
Um, and you know, to be able to want to do it convincingly, you've really got to put in the work. So we were practicing that a lot, and I think we're really proud. We're really proud of what we did.
Well, it showcased extremely well on screen. So A plus from both of you, because I'm literally watching it as you two are moving, and I'm just like, not only is your chemistry off the charts, but you're doing it, making it look so easy.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, thank you. Yeah, maybe, yeah, you're right. It's not as easy as it looks, but that's good to hear. It's good to hear we made it look easy. Yeah.
Well, another huge movement scene for both you and Vanessa was your tango, which I also thought
Mm.
was just the icing on the cake. You know, you always see tangos in movies, and those are really the big connector between like two love interests. And for me, I was just watching that. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. So, do you have much tango dancing in your background, or is that something you had to really rehearse?
Um, Look, again, we rehearse. I've done a little bit of dancing when I went to drama school many years ago. We had an incredible dance teacher. His name's John Cha O'Connell, and you wouldn't know him, but you'd know his work because he was the choreographer in every Baz Luhrmann film of all time.
Oh.
And so he, yeah, taught us through drama school, and that was the last time I danced the tango. So I had a little bit to brush up on, had to blow out some cobwebs. But again, you know, I think the really cool thing about that scene was it's not just about the dance. If you anyone can be taught to dance, but
Mhm.
I feel like that scene is, again, it's about telling a story, and it's about all this history that has happened between Fiona and Peter that we haven't actually seen in the movie. It's only alluded to, and so we have to work extra hard to to tell that story, and to you know, give the audience an idea of where, you know, who are these characters to each other, and like what do they really feel, what are they
Mhm.
really saying that's not being said, if you know what I
Was the chemistry between you and Vanessa immediate, or was it something you guys kind of worked at leading up to filming?
mean. It was pretty immediate. It was pretty immediate. Venice is such an amazing person. You know, it was a joy to work with her. She's a tour de force as an actress, and just an incredibly fun person to be around. I think like one of the first things she said to me was how much she loves Australians, how much she loves our country, and like loves like Australian bands. We really connected over our love of music.
Mhm.
And like any time in between takes, she'd always have a Bluetooth speaker with her, and would always just be like dancing in between scenes and takes just to keep the energy up. Yeah, she's a really awesome person to work with. Yeah.
Was it tricky having to film a scene three times, you know, having Fiona, Margaret, and Stacy in it?
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And I was like,
You're like, I didn't have to film three times. What?
yeah, because I was thinking normally, you know, yeah, normally you have to film three times, like doing three takes, just standard, but then you'd have to do that again, and then you'd have to do
Mhm.
that again. Yeah, look, I mean, this film, because of the nature of having the three different characters to work with, um, it brought an extra layer to it, right? And yeah, it's hard, like, because you would just spend three times as long on any given scene, and so you're constantly having to bring that energy to the scene, because you know, you can't let it dip. You've you know, you've got an audience who wants to have fun in this movie. You've got to bring it all. You've got to be 120%. And it would be easy to be complacent. It might be easy to get like a little bit tired if it wasn't for someone like Vanessa and the amount of energy that she brought to every single take. She was, you know, she was really like a leader on this set, and it was really inspiring. It was really, really inspiring to get to work with her. I'm a
What
huge
would you
fan.
say was the most challenging part of bringing this movie to life?
Um, definitely like filming in a Scottish winter. You're working against the elements. It was pretty brutal. It was really brutal. We're all cold sometimes and tired and shivering, and it feels like we haven't seen sunlight in weeks. We were all given like vitamin D tablets
Oh gosh.
to make sure. Like if you like for anyone living in those northern parts of the
Mhm.
world, they know what I'm talking about, but I'm from Australia. We get a lot of sun. So that was something that was definitely a challenge. And also the fact that we were filming over the Christmas period, over the holiday period, and a lot of us were filming away from home.
Mhm.
And that could have been, I think, really hard if it wasn't for the fact that we all very quickly became a very close and tight knit family, and everyone was like getting along really well. I love to cook, and I ended up like buying all of this cooking equipment, like a slow cooker and some hot plates and some pots and pans in my hotel room, and we'd be cooking dinners every other night out of my out of like each other's hotel rooms, and like cooking for each other. And yeah, like that kind of relationship that we all had really went away to staving off the homesickness. Yeah, and we just had the most amazing time.
That's awesome. Now, if they were to make a Princess Switch 4, what would you like to see happen in it?
Another Vanessa Hudgens.
I don't know how she
How
could pull off a fourth one.
Yeah, look, I mean, if there was another one, I'd love to see what Peter's doing now. What next job is he gonna get up to? Yeah, look, I think that the options are endless. I think that the wonderful thing about these movies, it's the characters that drive it and the relationships, and yeah, these characters, they can really go anywhere. So
I
yeah,
think it,
maybe like where could they go abroad? Maybe let's think outside the box. Let's have Christmas on a beach somewhere. Let's go to Barbados.
let's go to Australia.
Let's go to, yeah, the Princess Switch in Australia. I'm here for it. Princess Switch in the outback. Yeah.
I think fans would definitely be for it. I was kind of hoping this movie we'd see a little bit more of Peter with the other gentleman. And obviously his story is very much connected to Fiona. So if there is ever a Princess Switch 4, I'd love to see what he and the other two gentlemen have up their sleeve and what kind of trouble they could get in.
Yeah, the Princess Switch boys' night out. Princess Switch meets The Hangover.
There you go. There's the R-rated version of Princess Switch. My last question for you today: what are you hoping fans get out of the movie?
Uh, um, it's zany. It's a lot of fun. I hope that fans have as much fun watching this movie as we did making it, because we had a hell of a lot of fun making this film, and we did it all for the fans. We really did. So yeah, I think they're about to see a Christmas film like you haven't seen before. And again, that, like we were talking about before, the melting of the genres. It's really unique. Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I think a lot of other people are going to enjoy it just as much as I did. But thank you so much for speaking with me today. I'm excited for everyone to see the movie.
Thank you, Megan.